Hello, everybody. It is technically the 5th of July, but I felt like I didn't stop hearing fireworks till about midnight. I stayed in and, like I usually do, I don't like fireworks. I don't like the way they sound. I never did. Um, when the last time I saw fireworks? Or when I was a kid. Anyway, 3 to 5 is my time, so I'm usually up around that time. So I was watching Soft White Underbelly, and there was this man. Now, he's like 54, and I could see him transform on Soft White Underbelly. Um, he's like was homeless on drugs and things like that, and he's like, let me show him. If you watch, things like that. But he talked about how he had a strained relationship with his family, and his family probably didn't even know, what was going on, but he was that one who isolated and did something different from his siblings. That's me. So he went to jail quite a bit throughout his life. And when he was in jail, he was like working out in the gym, reading all these books, Black history, culture, things like that. And then when he would get out, he would like do drugs or whatever and, um, take advantage of people. But I could see him transforming. And his last video, like he went from first did it video, he's on crack. Then he's like, okay, I'm rebuilding my life. Then he's talking about the gym and recovery because how he loves the gym. Then he's talking about mental health. Now, and before that, there was another man who was a crack addict and he was molested by who he thought was his father, but it was really his stepfather. Now, there's a direct correlation between molestation and doing drugs and just livelihood. But what I notice about some of these recoveries is when they find something that, feels that, they don't need to do the drugs anymore. And with this young man, he turned to construction work. He met somebody in jail, like an Asian millionaire or something, to help him. And I know that, our people, your names, the dates, the time you're born, numerology, all of that stuff is like pertinent, like in your life, and nobody has to validate it. I did a lot, trying to convince folk, like, you see this and you see that. But I'm not doing that anymore. Now I'm just worried. Well, I'm not worried, but I want to be safe so I could stay here as long as possible. But he talked about his mental illness, and when he was about 12 years old, it started resonating. And he said his mom was like, maybe you should go see somebody. I don't know what he has, but I can kind of guess what it is because he talked about him having trouble. What was it? Was it reading or putting together something? He was scared to death to like get his license at like 30 and 20. He didn't get his driver's license till he was 54. So I can guess it's something like ADHD or depression or anxious. It seems like he had an anxious disorder because, or anxiety disorder because of the how he was affected by being bullied, and he was being bullied by his brother, and I'm sure his brother didn't know the extent of what he was bullying him for, but it affected him, you know. Now, my sister, for her birthday, it's in like a week. I know that my mother, two of my sisters, okay, so basically I'll have three sisters here. The one, I'm here in their house, and then two of my sisters coming, and then I heard like two of my cousins and maybe some of the friends from, you know, Carpendale might be coming, and um my other cousin, like, it's, I keep just hearing as many people coming. And one of my older sisters texts, and she's like, will you be there when I get there? And I said, yeah, you know, so I'm gonna be here, but I have to explain. I haven't seen everybody together in a long time, but when I'm around crowds, even if it's my family, especially if it's my family, you have to remember that your family is how your relationships go, your triggers, you know, all of that stuff. And I remember I didn't go to granddaddy's funeral, and Iwa I was gonna go, and she's like, are you sure you're gonna go? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go as long as nobody asks me no questions. And she said, Sephra, you know, when has nobody ever asked you questions? So, you know, real stuff. I want to see them, but you know, it's triggers, and I'm not sure what spirits or what they're gonna bring up when they come. So I want to do a cleansing Ebos on our house before they get here, and you know, just pray everything is okay. You know, it sounds as if I'm talking about something real intense. Oh, all the women coming, all the women coming. But if you look at some of the old videos, which, you know, I'm sure nobody who's listening to me now would see that I was recording and taking note on how we were communicating with each other. And I noticed that a lot of us do the same thing. So I want to stay on my path without them hindering it, you know. And my sister, the night that she threatened to put me in jail and was bullying me and all this stuff, and my friend April was listening on the phone. Like, I was on the phone with her, and I put it on speaker, and I was like, "You hear this?" And then we left. And then I left, and she was like, "Yeah, that's bullying. Like, that's bullying because after the argument, I'm not gonna get into it. I don't want to get into it. Let me fast. Let me go to another thing because I'll get into that. I have to address my triggers and my spooky shit. So I said I want to talk about. Um, well, let me go back to that man. Him doing construction and building, like he went from doing crack to he 54 years old, and he look about 15 years younger because he found his purpose and his craft. And I'm sure he's getting help full circle on how to take care of it now. Okay.